Zombie apocalypse.
I'm going to take a look at the 4th of July print I did on the 1st of July. So this is the DC 110. You can find it on Thingiverse, and a big shout out and thanks to the designer. And this lid, I did some extra drilling in it and stopped the print early. These edges come up a little higher to hold your satellite if that's what you're going to run in it. And then he's got a buzzer in there. And hopefully you got some little tiny screws hanging out. Make sure you drill all your holes first so you don't crack your plastic. And he has some different options for camera mounts. I cut the print short on this again for it to cut some weight. And it has a little bit of a tilt to it, so that's pretty sweet. Do a little adjustment in the field in case you're doing some slow flying through some trees or ripping it hard. Alright, so anyway, the F3 board that we're going to try this time has built-in OSD. So we'll have OSD. I'm going to run a free sky receiver. Get the bug off my finger. Little tiny dude. So this thing does not do telemetry, but it will pump our SSI through your OSD. So that will at least be helpful. Now this has got the 8.5s. I'm hoping to drop the weight from the first build that I did here, and it has the 600 TV line camera. So for the camera on this one, and this had the 7mm motor, so I'm hoping to match weight with the 8s, or that's my goal, or lighter hopefully. So anyway, I want to give a big shout out to Wolf Whoop on Amazon. They hooked me up with this camera, and it's already set up for OSD, and it's one of the smaller cameras. And as you can see, they have a video in and out already set up for you. So you just gotta hook it up. Focus. Anyway, you can see all the wires coming out of there. And let's see how many channel this is. 48 channel. 600 TV line. So we'll give that a try and see how that works out for us. And it'll be nice to... This should be a little lighter setup on camera than this should be. So that should cut some weight there. Now we don't have our long range antenna, but it's alright. We ain't going far anyway. So anyway, on these rubbers on this 4th of July print, and I did some blue under here, and I'm going to change this out to the different mounts since I'm going with this new camera here. Now these mounts are from Amazon also, and they're spark plug wire grommets. So you know that you get the chrome plated fingers, and you hold each spark plug wire, and well, it came with an assortment, and I think I paid like, I don't know, like $8. So with all the grommets I got, it was cheaper than buying the black rubber ones that we usually use, like these. So, and then these are them new blades they got out there. I like the clear. They seem to fly as good. Just as stiff as the clear, but they got a little tint to them. A little green. Alright, so we'll get the board prepped next. And we're going to do a soldering job on this because it's so low. By the time you get the lid on, you couldn't do plugs. And hook up our buzzer and our OSD, and I'll go through each step on how I set each thing up. Get over to the free sky and get that all hooked up too. So I'll see you on the next step. Okay, before I start, I like to set all my pieces out, make sure I have all my parts. And so we got the camera system, and we're going to put some LEDs on it, our receiver, control board, and I went ahead and change that mount. So it'll be a little less weight there. And our buzzer, and we'll need some small wire. And then the battery connection, I'm going to go with this one. And you want to have at least 20 gauge. If it's a 24 or 22, you better get you a different one, especially if you're running 8s. Alright, now then, and then I always like to go and print out the control board, all the pin out is what I usually call it, where everything hooks up before I get started. But before I do anything, I go ahead and hook this guy up and check the firmware. So we're going to jump over to the computer next and see what firmware is on it and go ahead and update it. And because there's times I've put them in and then you needed to get to the bootloader, or you needed to, or it's just a bad board. So I kind of make a rule of thumb anymore before I set one up for somebody. I just go ahead and check the board out and make sure it's all functioning. So we'll jump over to computer and